Hey, I'm here with Ash. I'm also here with Alan. We are going to have such a great time today. Guys, we have a simple framework for you that is all about how to improve your confidence. And this is going to be something that not only will help you today, this can help you forever. So this is a conversation we'll probably come back to multiple times. I'm so excited to be here. And you guys had me at your house last night. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, it was so nice to be here. And tell us a little bit about yourselves really quick, like a little 30-second introduction. Ladies first, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of course, please.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, so my name is Ash, and I am a mama of 2 amazing kiddos, and this is my partner, Alan. And I have a background in marketing and communications, real estate investing, entrepreneurship, and I know Brigham through real estate community and through the TFP family.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're up.
Name's Alan, and similar background with TFP as far as how I know Brigham and Ash. And most of my experience professionally comes from restaurants, done construction, and some real estate myself as well.
He fed me last night. It was good. Yeah, very fun to
Boss
eat
in the kitchen.
in his kitchen. Very good stuff. I can't approve of that. So we're going to first give you guys these 4 laws of confidence. And one of the things that I'm really passionate about is helping people instantly be able to reframe their story. And these 4 laws are something that you guaranteed have heard before, but we're going to probably give you some different ways to think about it. And hopefully we're going to bring out some really great examples and stories as well. We're going to extract it from their experience. We're going to have some fun, right? You guys ready to have some fun?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. I have kind of a simple little way to remember this, right? This is R.A.A.O, right?
R.A.A.O.
R.A.A.O. We're going to like, R.A.A.O. It's going to be great. Like, R.A.A.O. It's perfect. Okay? The R, this is for resistance. Okay. Anytime you have resistance, people have this thing that pops up in language learning. Have you guys ever learned a language before?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What's the language you worked on?
Sign language, actually.
Sign language.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
All right. When you have that resistance, you get to choose what are you going to do with it. Are you going to accept that resistance? Or are you going to push against it? In language learning, anytime you have resistance pop up, you have a choice with that. Are you going to accept that, or are you going to like push against it? How are you going to respond to that resistance?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you learn a new word, there is that stress that comes up. Like, am I going to actually use this? Is this going to be something that's useful for me? You can choose whether or not you're going to let that be something that happens for you and happens through you, or it just goes in one ear, not the other. Mm. So what does resistance mean for you? And then we'll come to Ash.
Oh man, resistance for me, it's just that moment in time where, something new comes up. So real estate was a big one for me. It was something that like I had never aspired to do. And it's something, an opportunity came up. And the initial resistance was, I remember just saying to myself, no, like, I don't want to be a landlord. That sounds horrible.
No
like
thanks.
just, yeah. But, and so my initial response to that was to put it away. Like just, nope, like shut it down, brick wall. But I think God had a different calling, like just kind of come back and revisit it. And for me, resistance is just an opportunity to learn new things. And so I dove in and crunched some numbers and was like, yeah. And so started building on that, and a couple of duplexes later, and we're into real estate. So it was fun. Yeah.
That's great. Good. What does resistance mean for you?
Oh, my favorite phrase, and many people have heard it, but I'm going to say it, is what you resist persists. I've seen that really play out in my life in a lot of ways. And something that I've done with that through personal growth and development is receiving, like Greg talks about the open hand concept. Yeah. Right. You went right there. When you can shift from that resistance, like the clenching or the pushing away or turning away, and just what can I receive through this? So, this morning when you're like, yesterday when you're like, we're getting up and we're going to the gym at 5 a.m. I'm like, I have never gotten up in darkness to go to the gym. And I've told Alan, I want to stretch myself as a morning person, and he's a morning person. He's really helped me with that this summer. And then I fell off the bandwagon really quick. I resisted it. and now it persists. That like my morning routine is not a fun one.
But
You said, "What's your morning routine?" I'm like,
I'm
nah.
like, just sleep.
Go back to bed. I'm exhausted.
You woke
single
up
mom.
so fast today, though.
And
Yeah.
today I was so
just
motivated.
Like, we're gonna go. We're gonna be out by
Yeah.
8:15. You're like 8:15.
Yeah.
No. Wait. 5:15. Oh
Yeah.
shoot. 5:15.
Right.
Okay.
And it was like 5:18 and I was
Yeah.
actually out the door. So
Yeah.
like, what can I receive from this? And I did receive a lot this morning, gift of seeing like, what can my morning look like in a new way? And just want to emphasize the point to community, right? That community can help when you are dealing with that resistance, come alongside you and motivate you where your motivation doesn't step in for yourself. So
That's great.
Thank you.
All right, this just
morning
reminded
was great.
me. This just reminded me of a concept that I used to teach my theater class all the time. Because I used to do a lot with your physicality.
Yeah.
One of the things that makes it so people can see what it is that you're doing as a pantomime artist is the resistance that you create. So it's something called the click. You guys ever heard of this before?
No.
Okay, I want you to imagine you're picking up a flower. Go like this and pick up a flower. All right, you picked up a flower. That was okay. But as soon as you hit the stem, there has to be resistance.
Tension.
If there's no resistance, there is no visible response.
Right.
So as soon as you create that resistance and you flex slightly, that's when you can pick it up. And it creates the visual stimulus for everyone to be like, oh, I see it. But if you don't have resistance, it just looks like this.
Yeah.
Okay,
What are they doing?
But if you squeeze it, suddenly they can be like, oh, I can see how wide it is, how hard it was for you to pick that. That's one of the visual reminders when you're doing pantomime. And this is something that you can actually use in any type of life. You think about the resistance that you create and that you accept, you can choose how you're going to respond. Sometimes resistance is really great for us. Like when we just did some working out, like you PR'd how many times? Was it like
7 today?
7. This is the power of community, guys.
Yeah.
Now, if you were doing that by yourself, do you think there's a chance you might not have hit 7?
Oh, I wouldn't even know if I did. I wouldn't even be tracking it. Yeah.
But the fact that we have a supportive community and we are helping each other do our personal best. We weren't comparing each other, but we were doing our own personal bests. That was really cool. Yeah. And it was funny. I was looking on your app. You said it was 33% improvement today. I was like, that's perfect.
On brand.
That's on brand.
On brand.
On brand.
Didn't even try.
You guys are like,
It just happened.
whoa, wait a second. 33%. Yeah, yes, that's the thing. So resistance is so important. When you think of resistance, here's another way to visualize this. A lot of times people will talk about weightlifting. If you don't create resistance for your muscles, whether that's resistance and tension, you don't put enough weight on there, you're not going to get growth. You'll kind of stagnate. So what does that idea mean for you? Either lay on the resistance or to give a little bit more resistance.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it goes back to my previous example and like getting uncomfortable and, allowing yourself to be in that position. And that's where growth happens. And so finding that mindset to accept that and challenge yourself to find those opportunities. And so that's my resistance. That's the resistance I look for, and to be a little bit uncomfortable at the time, from time to time, and often, because it usually means that you're growing, and learning. And so learning to welcome that has been really important to me.
Welcome those new challenges. So that you're like, well, this is new for me. Waking up at 5 o'clock, it's a little early.
Not for this guy. He's like, let's get you. Yeah. When I was like excited waking up at 6, he's like, wait till it's 5. And I'm like, So you gave him a gift today.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Just keep it up. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know that I can like say that any better. Like really, like, meeting resistance, seeing that as a place for growth, right? Like you gave the example with the weights. New opportunities and doing it scared, right? Yeah. But being able to see that resistance as a place for opportunity. So that's what I got from what you shared. Thank you.
Have you guys ever done balance training where you have like resistance bands that you're holding? You ever done that before?
Done balance training, but not with
No.
the
Okay.
bands.
I've done those two things separately.
Sometimes I will do this because it's kind of fun.
Okay.
But when you are holding a resistance band, the farther out you go, the more resistance is created.
Sure.
Sometimes in that stretch phase, you are like, oh, if I can just hold on a little bit longer, you can get the gains. That resistance is absolutely essential. But if you're like, I'm going to do this, and you just there's no resistance.
Yeah.
You're not actually growing as much as you possibly could.
Sure.
That's one of the reasons you want to be around people. You're like, oh, they went all the way to the final percent. How far can you stretch? Have you guys ever done this example? You ready for this? Okay, I want you to stretch as high as you can. Just right now. How high can you get?
How high?
Yeah, how high can you go?
Both?
Nice. Okay. Pretty good. Now, can you stretch any higher? Wait a second. I said as far as you can. As far as you can. You go like this, like stretch higher. And you're like,
Yeah.
it's going to 5%.
Yeah.
Literally as simple as that. Resistance sometimes is, well, this is what is comfortable for me. This is what everyone else is doing. But if you're in the right company, this is not good enough. Like, totally. Go as far as I can.
Totally.
That's a difference of going 99% and going that exponential side, which is the final percent. All right. Now, this next one is phenomenal. We're going to go back to the R.A.A.O, right? R.A.A.O. You're going to remember this now.
Are you also a lion in the animal profile?
I'm not a lion in the animal profiles, but I do like lions.
I love it. I am a lion. I am a lion.
I do like them.
You're not lying. That's so good.
Lion.
That's not... Okay. Awareness. This is so important. Anything that you do in personal development is basically shining a light where you are struggling. One of the visuals that pops into my head when you're talking about coaching, which is playing air traffic control with people's lives, is sometimes you get the opportunity to shine a light on the wart that they didn't want to know was there. You're like, we need to figure out how to deal with that, because that impacts how you walk, how you talk, how you do. Like, there's so many challenges like that. But as soon as you have those blinders off, you raise your awareness, you can now do something about it. What does awareness mean to you, Ash?
Oh, yeah. Just what you said. Shining that light and being able to see a new part of yourself. We were just talking about this yesterday, actually, like being in a space of a new relationship and being able to see reflections of yourself and go, oh, it's new for me. And
getting curious about it.
Yeah, get curious with each other. And because that's what a partnership does, is it brings out parts of you and shows you parts of yourself, so that you can reflect and become aware and see yourself. And so that's something that I've been able to practice really well with Alan, and I think you practice really well with me, is when that awareness comes into view, speaking out loud to each other and going, oh, hey, this is a new space for me, and talk through it with each other, instead of just you were talking about that reactive response versus choosing to respond to it. So
beautiful.
Yeah. So awareness is like she was saying, like, it's kind of a new space for me, even recently, big changes in last year. And so coming into a new version of myself this year, and so finding those opportunities just to kind of like accept those the changes. And so the partnership has been wonderful, and it's new. And same with TFP, like the community has challenged me to kind of look in the mirror in a different way. Yeah. And so it's been an amazing experience. Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
One of the things I like about theater and history and all these different stories is sometimes you can raise awareness in potential challenges by living vicariously through other people. You hear a great story and you're like, ooh, I'm not going to make that choice. That was dumb. I don't want to have to gouge out my eyes because I slept with my mother.
Oh, God.
Right. Thanks, Oedipus, for doing that for all of us, so we don't have to do that.
Right.
Every single one of us have these stories that live inside of us. And if we are not willing to share them with other people, it's something that is really sad, because we don't get to pass on that knowledge. So what's a story that you learned from? This could be from your past. This is something that you're like, wow, this was one of my life lessons that you had to pay full price for, and that we get at a discount because you're going to share it with us.
Right on the spot.
What's one of those that raises awareness?
Anything comes to mind for you? That
Life
was really
left.
putting it on the spot, Brigham.
If you want, I'll go first.
Yeah.
All right.
Please.
All right.
Let's do it.
I have a little boy. He's almost 2.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a gross story, but you're going to enjoy it. He likes to run around when he poops. Of diaper that is uncanny when it comes out. And it's just like that diaper just hangs on like a little sloth or something. And
that's a visual.
It's a visual for sure.
That's a visual.
There was this one time where he was running around and it was about to fall off and I'm tackle him down. And he does not like to get changed.
Yeah.
He just rolls around and I had to like stick my foot over him and pin him to the ground so I could do it. And my daughter, she's like, well, that's not a number 1 poop or a number 2. You know what that is? That's a 59. Like, a 59 poop? What do you mean by that? She's like, 1 plus, no, this is a 59 poop. And I was like, yep, that was a big one. So sometimes you're going to have to tackle problems that don't make sense mathematically. You're like, this is so big. I can't even describe it. And if you don't take care of it, then you can have days like that have happened multiple times where he's like tapping at himself and ready to get it taken care of. Then he just drops the drawers and the poop goes all over the floor. And you're like, didn't pay attention to the response right there.
The little
signals. And now I have a big mess to clean up. So when you have the 59 poops, you got to pay attention to the little tiny responses that those little kids give you. There's a parenting tip for you. Okay, your turn, Ash. Ask
the question again. What's a story?
What's a life lesson that you've had?
Life lesson.
Yeah, one that you're like, oh, I had to pay full price for this. Here's one for free.
Oh man,
Raising awareness.
He's gonna get one.
Right. All right. What's a parenting tip that you've had? You're like, oh, should not have done that.
Parenting tip.
This is.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's got a bunch of them because she's got 2 wonderful kids.
I do have 2 great kids. Well, I don't know why the zipline story is coming to mind.
Oh, okay. We have to hear the zipline story.
So I don't know what they were out of it, so we'll discover it together. So there is this treehouse place up in Bailey, Colorado. Really, really cool ropes course, like team building place. You can go with your team or like partner, or you get harnessed. You click in. You do this. And my daughter is a climber.
You're not afraid of heights, right?
No.
Okay,
no.
Cool.
And my kids aren't either. They're pretty adventurous. Again, daughter's a climber.
Nice.
And my son, when I took him at 7 or 8, he got stuck on this zip line.
Like afraid type of stuck?
He got afraid. Like we got to this part in the zip line where he went, this is higher than I thought. I want to get off. I want to get off.
There's not a safe way off. It's
on
the line.
You're clipped into the end. Like it's actually a safety mechanism that keeps you on the line. You cannot fall off the line at all. And I'm there with this terrified little boy look at me going, no, get me down. And so call for help. And we get him across and we get him down. And he's fine. And we laugh about this story on the way up, taking his little sister, who's 6 years younger than him, when she's 7. And she's adventurous. She's like, I'm doing this. I'm not scared. Nothing. Same zipline spot. Exact same spot. The intuition was there. I'm like, maybe she shouldn't do this one. And she was confident. She's like, no, I'm going. I'm not going to be afraid. Mom, I can do it. But she was smaller than him at 7 than he was. And I'm like, her body weight is not going to get her across here when we got there. And I'm like, and I'm in the same spot with her that I was with him. Not the same fear in her eyes, thankfully. But I went, oh goodness, your body weight is not going to get you across here. But I had to send her. I did. I had to send her.
Bundle her up. Whoa, send her.
And she didn't make it. And she got stuck on the line. But I knew how to call for help that time. And I knew like sooner and get her down.
Did you guys have to slough the line?
She did. She had to slough the line. The girl had to climb out and pull her across the line. yeah, I guess the parenting tip being like learn the lesson the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't completely traumatize her.
How
we
long
all
was she
had a
stuck
good
on the
laugh.
line?
We
Hold
all
on.
had a
Was
good
she up
laugh.
there for like 5 minutes, or was it like 20 minutes?
No, they got her down
Okay.
way faster, and then they got Kenton down.
Oh shoot! How long was Kindon up there?
He was up there for a minute. So
Really?
we could go
A minute. Like when I hear minute, it's like that's 20.
Yeah.
30, like half a
Yeah,
minute,
but I had
40
this moment of like, I kind of should have known better. And this one's not as traumatized as the first one. But she chose it. She did choose it. My kid is not traumatized, but I guess the awareness being like, hey, you've been here before. And maybe it says, can we actually get through this challenge? But even if you don't, we did make it through. We all have laughs about it now.
Absolutely. Right? So how have you been able to use that experience to help you in the future?
Yeah. I mean, even though all of your kids are different, it is nice with the second child going, we've been here before. How can we improve on this moment with them? But yeah. And it's okay. It's okay to challenge your kids. Like, they both handled it differently. They both handled it differently. Right. I don't know. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It wasn't my most proud moment as a mom. And I'm like, I've been here before and I already did this one time. But
whoops.
You know what? They're both super brave and adventurous. And as we are an adventurous community, I think they'll both definitely zip line again because I love zip lining. Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
You're like, hey, your brother was only stuck for half an hour.
You're
like, we got 7 minutes. You're good.
Just, kids are resilient.
Yeah.
Actually.
Absolutely.
The awareness that like, I guess one thing I will say is like, you can have been in a situation before with your kids and then face that same situation and still make the same
choice.
You can make the same choice and same mistake. Your kids are going to handle it differently. And your kids are resilient. Like they can handle challenges with you if you stay strong for them. I had to stay strong for Kenton in a different way than I had to stay strong for Emery. But
beautiful. That's a great story.
Okay.
All right. You don't have to top it. You just have to be different.
Yeah.
What is a life lesson that you had that you're like, I'd pay full price for this one? You get it at a steep discount.
Yeah, for sure. That one's environment. That one's big for me. So I had a season with alcohol. I've shared that openly on another podcast from the community, but it comes down to environment and just kind of the people you surround yourself with, and you can become a product of that environment.
Like waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, like waking up at 5 a.m. It can be positive or negative. And we are shifting into that, and something that I've appreciated. I'm just in the last few months working with TFP and now just being in partnership with Ash, like specifically is just like how we talk to ourselves, how we think about ourselves, and watching each other's backs and making sure we're putting the right words in our mind and surrounding ourselves with a positive thought process and moving forward.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I have a super dorky story for you, but this is going to be one you're like, oh, okay. Ready?
Okay.
I was driving back from Greg's birthday party, which was last year.
Yeah.
And it's like a 4-hour drive. It's like what I have to make right after this podcast is done.
Right.
But it was kind of late. It was like 10 o'clock at night and it was a little bit snowy and we had fog that came in about an hour out of Denver. And there's this intersection that was a little sketchy and it was like almost murky the way that the fog was coming in. And because it was so dark, I was like clenching my steering wheel, feeling like I am going to hit somebody because I can't see very well. Because have you ever been in those white out almost?
Oh, yeah,
fog?
totally.
I hate fog. It is so frustrating. I'd almost rather drive in almost anything else.
Yeah.
And have you ever been behind one of those big semis that have like the ice pack up behind it? And then the ice chunk falls off.
Oh,
never seen it fall
off.
Never
seen, yeah. Well, there was a ice chunk in the middle of the road, and he didn't quite see it in time, and because it was dark and it was like kind of murky brown ice, but I saw it right 10th of a second before I could do anything about it, and I kind of moved, but I really couldn't adjust very much. It hit my tire and blew out my front left tire on the driver's side. He like hobbled off to the side of the road. And I was like, I didn't bring a jacket. I was an idiot. Way to be a Boy Scout. So I'm out there in a t-shirt and regular jeans. It's starting to snow slightly, but it's super foggy. And I get this headlight lamp on. And as cars are passing me on the 70-mile-an-hour freeway, I'm like going like this. Don't hit me. As I'm changing the tire, I had these white gloves that were the little cotton ones that come in my pack. And as I'm changing the tire, I have this thing hit me that has to do with associations. Like, the white glove, if I never touched anything, if I never did anything, it would stay white. Right? It would always be white. But it associated with axle grease or all the grease that's around the little hubcaps. And by the time I was done changing that tire, it was almost black. Sometimes I was putting my hands on the ground, and I looked at those gloves and I was like, wow, if you took gloves and you threw them in oil, you threw them in mud, does the glove get muddy or does the mud get glovey? Associations really do matter because you can be unspotted like that glove, but if you get in the wrong situation, like what you're saying with alcohol, man, it can impact you indelibly at times. Luckily, I was able to be okay. I got home safe. And it only took me like an hour to change the tire because I had to get out of the way with all the cars. But that raised my awareness to the importance of associations. Because you don't want to get glovey. It doesn't happen. You can go and impact a positive way in some respects, but it's really who you associate with that levels you up. All right, this next one, this is part of our R.A.A.O. All right. Acceptance. Sometimes we have challenges that come and there are things we can do nothing about them, but we can respond to them. Acceptance has to do with knowing that is the way it is. There is a law irrevocably decreed upon which all blessings are predicated, and that law is obedience. You have that law, and then you're like, well, if I want this result, I have to live that law, and then I get the promised blessings attached to it. Acceptance for me has to do with first learning that law and then saying, how can I live this? So what does acceptance mean for you?
Well, going back to the previous story that I was referencing earlier, acceptance for me was accepting that season of my life and accepting that as an experience, but not an identity. And so I think we've actually, all three of us have happened to talk about that recently. For me specifically, is for a long time, I identified that as me for a while, but accepting that now as just a season of my life and an experience has brought some peace to that scenario. So it helps deal with the shame, as far as that. So acceptance is a big part. Acceptance for me brings a lot of peace, finding that.
Beautiful. That's kind of that open hand principle we were talking about earlier. We have to accept different things to be able to move in the direction that we do want. Because if we don't accept that, it's almost like you attach holding on to something really tight, and then you're like, wait a second, I need to go here, but you don't let go of those and accept it for this necessary ending to be done so that I can move forward. Like you have to sometimes let go so that you can accept what the new version of you looks like. I was actually sharing, was it with you? I was telling you about the lobster. Yeah. Okay. This is a dorky example, but I really like it. One of the things that's interesting about crawfish and lobsters is once they get to a certain point, their tail can no longer sustain their growth and they have to break their tail and take it off. And that's what the soft tail lobsters are, because then they can expand and finally grow into their new version of themselves. When you're leveling up, it all has to do with making sure that whatever your old version of yourself that you're holding on to, you have to accept that sometimes for you to change, you have to let go of who you used to be to go to that next level.
100%.
Okay. Thoughts on acceptance?
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to share, is about change. Like accepting change has been a big thing throughout my life. I've been through some pretty hard resets, as I like to call them now, in various areas, whether that's loss or whatever. And just accepting that God does ask us to change. And we see that with people, right, that don't want to let go, like you're saying. And we see people that get stuck, right?
Yeah.
And you can see it. It's really evident in their life and they're stalled in some way. And that was a big thing for me over the past 2 years now, really, of accepting just the hard reset that was going on in my life and the concept that it's this where I'm at, if that's going to be allowed to stay the way that it is, or something better. And doing what you said, letting go, accepting that the change, receiving it instead of resisting it, and then allowing that growth to come through, life to come through you, like you were saying before this podcast, what you were sharing with us about, is life happening to you or is life happening through you? And there's so much more when you receive that blessing of change, even if it's hard, it's a breaking, like you're saying. That breaking really is a gift. And there was a time last year where I was like, I'm not going to call this a gift yet, but I know I will eventually. And I am at that place. And then when I got to that place, and we talk about this with our good friends Craig and Meredith,
Love those guys.
Oh my God, I love them so much. Just the other day, they're reminding me of like, hey Ash, when you did say, I'm letting go of this thing and I'm stepping into receiving this new version of myself fully, like let's like name it, like they put a name on it, which this is Ash Rising, you're in your hard reset era, like
Ash Rising, it sounds like
Ash
a phoenix.
Rising.
Oh,
yeah, and then like 5 days later I met Ellen, so that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
Putting it into action. Manifesting that,
manifesting. I get you.
Oh, you were with the puns.
I can pontificate all day.
I love it. So yeah, accepting change is really important in our lives, because that is really the only way you can grow.
Have you ever thought about this? When you pay more than you need to for something with cash, what do you get back?
Change.
If you pour more value into somebody, into a conversation, into an experience, into a podcast, if you can leave someone with more than you originally were told, you over deliver, who gets to keep the change?
Yeah.
You do, and they do.
It's a great analogy.
Isn't that really cool?
Yeah. Oh, it's such a great analogy.
All right, this last one. We're going to go to the last one of R.A.A.O. I'm kind of like a cat. All right. This is ownership. When we talk about ownership, this is the difference between deflection and saying, I'm 100% responsible for my actions. What does ownership mean for you? And then let's wrap this up. How do all of this R.A.A.O, like the 4 laws, apply to confidence? Because that was a promise on this. We're going to make sure we tie it all up and loop it up.
Okay. I'm going to talk about ownership in the in our relationship. So hands down, like this is the first relationship where I've come in with such a sense of ownership that I get that change, right? That's left over from that, because I get to see when I take ownership for stuff and I don't put things on him that aren't his to carry, then we have openness and space, and he has room to like breathe and be honest, and like we can grow together more in that space. And that's been really a blessing for me. We've been able to have such depth in our short time of dating already. 4-5 months through that. So that's something that I'm really grateful for being able to do now in a relationship. But it took not being able to do that in a relationship and really having that mirror reflected at me to go, you're not doing this well, to come and be able to do it well now.
Yeah, ownership also has to do with owning what you can control. Sometimes we have things that are outside of our control. And if we try and own things that we literally can't own, then that's where a lot of anxiety comes in, a lot of frustration. As soon as we realize, I accept that is something I can't change. This is what I can. I can take care of myself. I can respond differently. That's my choice. that allows you to own what your part of the challenge was.
And to that point, right quick, I'll add as well, there have been several relationships recently in my life that I've had to own letting go of, actually holding that boundary. Again, like Greg says, my boundaries don't require your participation, but I do own my response to you and what I'm going to participate in with you. And owning that and accepting, going back to acceptance, really, that if someone doesn't want to step into their own ownership with you in a relationship, you really can't have one. And as hard as that is, because I used to put myself in the position of like, no, I have to own the relationship because I see the problem and I'm going to own your side and my side. And that actually doesn't work.
Right.
That falls apart really fast. You have to let someone else own their part so that you actually are robbing them of their growth when you try to own their part. So that's been a big lesson.
Almost
for me
like clipping
recently.
their wings.
Really?
You think about it. You're like, well, if you don't take ownership of this, you don't get the growth opportunities. Oh, let me take that weight from you. That looks a little heavy. I'm going to take that from you too. Like, wait a second. Then that means he doesn't grow. And then you're getting a little bit more, but you are not going to be able to help that relationship grow.
Yeah.
One of the things I've learned over 13 years of being married is you have to have 100% that you give and your spouse has to give 100%. That's a 200% marriage. This is essential when we're talking about ownership. And if you know that you are 100% owning whatever your choice is, then there's no deflection. It's just, oh, I did that. Yep, that is true. How can we make this better? How can we make it work? All right, Alan, ownership. What do you mean?
Ownership. Going back to, again, just the story that I've been stuck on through this podcast is just going back to the piece that you're seeking outside of those past experiences. Owning your part and seeing what led you to be in that environment leads to a lot of peace. It leads to that closure. It's almost like the nail in the coffin for me is the ownership piece. So it's really important.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, I've been reading a book this week. I finished it a few days ago called Necessary Endings. So letting go of some things is also owning that it happened, but it doesn't have to keep happening if it's not positive. And if it is really great, but it still has to end, sometimes you have to put a little bow on it and say, wow, that was a great part of my life. Next chapter. And it's okay. It's all right to say, wow, that was amazing. So glad that happened. Now I get to go to this next chapter of my life, because as you level up your life, there are some things that you will not be able to do at level 10 that you could do at level 3. I noticed this as a high school student. It's kind of a dorky thing, but I loved being involved in everything. I did the chess club because I was a dork. I did theater. I did cheerleading. I did soccer, and all of these different things. I was heavily involved, like even youth city council, all those different things. As you grow up, there are certain things that you kind of have to say, you know what, I'm going to choose what I can be the best in the world at. Theater was one of those things for me. So when I went to college, I tried to do some of the stuff that I did in high school, like, oh, I'm going to do cheerleading and theater and date. And you're like, I am having a mental breakdown. How do I keep doing this? And I had to let go of cheerleading. It was so much fun. But when you have those endings, sometimes you get to own that this is what matters to me now, what my real core desire is. And if something isn't helping you get your core desire, it's a distraction. Even though it's not a bad thing, like cheerleading was not bad. And for some people, that was their core desire. They're going to college because they loved it. And for me, I was like, I enjoy it. And it's fun. It was like a 70 on a scale of 100. It was never 100. So that's why I was like, you know what? This was a great time of my life. And I'm done with it. All right. To wrap all this up, how does R.A.A.O help us build confidence? Having the resistance, awareness, acceptance, and ownership. These are all elements of making sure that you can create confidence. One of the things I'm always talking about is when you reframe everything in your life to say, you know what, I'm taking ownership. This is my responsibility. You can do something with what you're in control of. But if you keep deflecting and saying, you know what, that wasn't my thing. This isn't my thing. Or you're not made aware of what you need to shift. You don't have the acceptance of like, oh, I'm not going to take that problem on. That's not mine. Even if there's a portion of it that was yours.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that impacts our relationships, our lifestyle, impacts the systems that we're in, all of the different elements. And if you want the proof in the pudding of having more confidence, you can create confidence by following all those. When you have resistance, own that that's okay that you have resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to do it anyway, because we're adults.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up at 5 a.m. Yeah, I'm going to do it just because I got to.
We're going to do it.
But
Kinda
sometimes
like
it's that mentality of, yeah, I've got to, but I get to do this too.
Mm-hmm.
You sometimes have those minor little shifts,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes a huge impact. All right.
100%.
How has all this helped you be more confident?
Help you be more confident.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you can accept the resistance happening, you know, be aware of it to begin with, and then accept it, and then own it. Like you're saying, you get to make that shift. Like I get to make the decision to make my morning better, wake up at 5 a.m. if I so choose, and get to my day in a much different way now because I pushed past that resistance with support, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm like super stoked. I mean, I enjoyed getting up earlier this summer, and now I'm like, but I didn't think 5 a.m. was possible. I had this resistance in my mind. But I am a validator, like we've talked about, and I don't like to fail my friends. So when you're like, no, we're going at 5:15, I'm like, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I woke up at 4 and was like, it's not 5 yet. Okay. And I went back to
You
sleep.
could do 4? Yeah, 5 easy. I could do 4.
I really did.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah. For me, it's simple. With the conversation today, it's just kind of a revelation too that, you know, that we are overcomers, that we can overcome these things. And that's the confidence that I carry now. It's like, you know, there's a big chunk of my life that was challenging, and to get through that and be on the other side and still see growth in your life and still see those things. That's a lot of fun. And so that's my confidence now, is that whatever challenges come, it's going to be good.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
And you know something you bring, one of the biggest things you bring to my life is a reminder that our confidence is not in ourselves. Our confidence is through our faith, right? That whatever challenges, whatever resistance is there, like you said, we're overcomers. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. One of the things I want to summarize with all of this is, as we increase our awareness, as we have all these things that are potentially resistant, but you know that when you do those hard things, like waking up early or doing the right meal prep, all the different things that you know will help you get to your core desire, as we do those things, we shift those behaviors, suddenly it's not about if the fruits will come. It's just a matter of time. If we focus on what our personal best were, just like what you did today, we say, you know what? I'm 33% better than I was yesterday. Amazing.
Awesome.
Even if we're 1% better, that exponential shift happens because we are comparing ourselves to ourselves. We raise that awareness. We have the ownership of, this is in my control, how I show up, why I'm doing what I'm doing. Even if I show up on a podcast last minute, all of this stuff, it is so essential. So I hope that this was valuable for all of you guys. Keep coming back for Leveling Up. My promise to you is that every time tune in, you will get something of value. And if you take one idea away from this and implement it, your life will be exponentially better, because that's what we do. We don't have to take every single thing and say, I'm going to apply everything. You're like, wait a second. No. What's that one actionable idea that will change your life? Do that. It might be waking up at 5. It might not. I don't know.
And I want to share one more nerdy thing with you.
Oh, I'm so nerdy. I love this. Go ahead.
So the energy scale, have you ever seen the energy scale? It goes from shame to enlightenment. And you're saying confidence, which equates to courage, right? Courage is actually the shift. It's not neutrality. Neutrality is on the scale too. But the shift from the downward spiral to shame and the upward spiral toward enlightenment is actually courage. It's actually the confidence. Taking that first step. The first step is what leads to 1% leads to 100% if you keep going and you have that consistency. So it was an awesome
That's
reminder
beautiful.
today.
So good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
good.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank
Not
you
only
for
for letting
having
me
me.
come
We
stay at
adore
your
you.
place. Oh, I know
Yeah.
you too. So why would people want to listen to the Leveling Up podcast? Give them a little testimony. Like,
Oh man.
this is why you got to do this. It's so fun. Like, yeah,
First
tell
and
me.
foremost, Brigham, because I've never spent time with you and not learned something really fascinating. Like every time I've talked to you. So first of all, you're gonna learn fascinating stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah, second that. I would second that. Like I've known Brigham only a couple months and handful of times, and every time it's something new.
Mhm.
And no matter what sometimes I talk and I'm like, what are you even saying? And Brigham's like, no, I got you. And like, he's just very insightful. And so, definitely a wise man, godly man, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. And so, so
And
thank you. And so please.
Positive energy.
Absolutely.
We were saying that
Huge.
like
Yeah.
in the car when we
Huge.
ran to get coffee
Yeah.
and before the podcast, so we would be lively here. You were that without any support. Like it's clear that your joy just comes from within, and that is a light to others.
Mhm.
And I love that about you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so please listen for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yes, I want to do my very best every single time, guys, to bring the light, help you level up your life. And once again, thank you guys. Love you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the
Love you more.
end outside right there, bam.